A very good morning to you all. Today we are going to learn about the new topic, electrical conductivity of liquids. Before going to learn about this, how many of you have seen that movie Aparachitudu? In that movie, you might have seen that hero while he is traveling in a rickshaw along with his sister. See, the roads are like our Anakapalli roads. Number of pits will be there here and there. So, in the rainy season, those pits are filled with water. And sometimes nearby the electric pole, some of the electric wires, they just fall down into that water. In the same way, when the electric wire fell into that water and his sister fell down from the rickshaw and she dies, and that is what the triggering factor in that particular movie. So we are knowing about the electricity, will it be passing through the liquids or not? Liquids, normally the metals, they are the good conductors of electricity, that everyone knows. That is what the reason our elders, they say that when you are touching the switches with wet hands, you be cautious always. You just make your hand dry, then only you start working with the electrical gadgets, they used to say. And when the winter season, we are using that heaters for boiling the water. If you take a bucket of water, the coil will be like this, and it is the plug pin, and here if you want to boil the water, we are just keeping the heater in this way. But while we are boiling, we are not supposed to touch. When it is connected to the current, when the switch is on, we are not supposed to touch with our hand. When the switch is taken out, switch off, then you can able to remove that heater and you test that water is heated up or not. So that is what the precaution the elderly people, they used to give us. We are not supposed to touch any electrical gadgets with wet hands. There is a chance of getting electric shock. And sometimes in the news items, we may find that some of the farmers in their fields, while they are watering or irrigating their fields, they need to operate their motors. While they are operating with wet hands, there is a chance of death even. That is what we should be cautious. For that, there is a small activity given in your textbook, testing the conductivity of material. Conductivity of material. For that, we need to take one of the battery, dry cell. Next, here these two are the drawing pins. This is the safety pin which is acting like a key, and copper wires. These are copper wires, and this is a LED bulb. LED full form is light emitting diode. Light emitting diode. And this is a cardboard. We are fixing two cardboard pins to the cardboard and then connecting that with the copper wire, one end to the Nipo battery and the other end to the LED bulb. And the same copper wire, it is running and connecting to the other drawing pin, which is fixed to the cardboard. And here one safety pin is attached here, and when it is not connected to the second pin, the circuit is not closed, LED bulb will not glow. The moment when you just touch this safety pin in this direction, then the circuit will be closed and the bulb starts glowing. This indicates that here the safety pin, which is made up of iron, it is a good conductor of electric current. So we can able to see that other materials, whether they can able to conduct the electric current or not. Let us take one paper, small paper piece, and you keep it in between these two drawing pins and you test it whether the bulb is glowing or not. It will not glow because paper is not a metal. And if you take any straw, while we are just drinking that cool drinks and all, straw will be given, that material you keep it in between these two drawing pins and you test that the bulb will be glowing or not, means no. It is made up of plastic, so it will not allow the current to pass. Only the metals, either iron pin or any other metal piece, if you keep it here, then only they can able to make the lead bulb to glow. Here if you take the graphite rod, graphite which is there in your pencil lead, if you keep that also, it may make that lead bulb to glow little bit with a dim light, because graphite is also conducting the electric current. So different materials we are taking, and then we are testing with whether they are capable of conducting the electric current or not when they are fixed in the middle of the circuit. When the circuit is closed, automatically if it is a metal, it will allow the current to this bulb to glow. Another experiment is given to you, testing conductivity of liquids. Let us take one rubber cap like this, and these two are the pins, and this is one copper wire, this is another copper wire, and this is the battery. This is the battery. Here if you take distilled water in the rubber cap, distilled water if it is taken, and these two pins are closed. If you attach these two pins, then the circuit will be closed. Like this, if you attach, the circuit will be closed, and this LED bulb, will it glow or not? Let us check. Distilled water means bulb will not glow. Next, drinking water if you take. Drinking water, it is having some metal ions, Na positive, Cl negative, or in drinking water sometimes we may find that K positive ions and Cl negative ions. So these are the metal ions will be there. So at that time there is a chance, whenever metal ions are there in the liquid, it will just make the current to pass and the LED bulb will glow. Next, another one, if you instead of taking the drinking water which is having some metal ions, if you replace it with coconut oil here, when you test it with coconut oil and these two pins are attached, again you see that lead bulb will glow, means no, it will not glow. Next, lemon juice if you take, again it is having citric acid. The acid will be there in that, so it may allow the current to pass, but it is not full light, dim light we may get, because it is having the citric acid. Lemon juice means. Vinegar if you take, vinegar is having one acid called acetic acid, CH3COOH. Acetic acid, it is very weak acid. Acetic acid, it is very weak acid. When you take in the rubber cap like this, and if you attach the two pins, when the circuit is closed, then also this lead bulb will glow little dim, because it is weak acid. Next, sugar solution if you take in the place of vinegar, sugar solution will not conduct electric current because free ions will not be there, free electrons will not be there, that is what the bulb will not glow. So in this way we can able to test that different liquids whether they can conduct electric current or not. This is second activity. Children, here let us take, once again I will repeat the same experiment. This is what the rubber cap, where the provision of taking some liquid in it, and here these two are the metal pins. This is one pin, this is another pin, and 2 mm gap to be maintained between one pin to the other pin, and with the help of copper wires we are connecting the lead bulb. Lead means here this is light emitting diode, light emitting diode, and that will be connected to the cell with the help of copper wire, and other end of this copper wire again connecting to the second metal pin. Here two metal pins are pierced into the rubber cap and leaving 2 mm gap, and if you take salt solution in this rubber cap, what is going to happen? Let us see. Salt solution, and if you join these two pins like this, if you attach these two pins, then the circuit will be closed, and here the lead bulb start glowing. The reason is, in that salt water Na positive ions and Cl negative ions will be there. So whenever free electrons are there, automatically when they start moving from one area to the other area, they will just allow the lead bulb to glow. And sea water also salt in nature, that also allow the lead bulb to glow. If you change this into distilled water, distilled water, it is not having any metal ions, distilled water. So that is what this bulb will not glow. Bulb will not glow when you take in the rubber cap distilled water, which we are using for recharging that inverters and all, we are using it, distilled water, which is not having any free metal ions. So this is what the content. For this first experiment, if you test it with a strip of paper in the place of the safety pin, the current will not glow because it is a bad conductor. Next, in the place of this, if you change it to piece of chalk, in between these two drawing pins, if you keep a piece of chalk, that also is a bad conductor of electric current, so it will not allow the lead bulb to glow. Next, another one, drinking straw also, it is a bad conductor, it will not allow the bulb to glow, current will not pass through it. Next, rubber eraser, if you keep in between these two drawing pins, that also bad conductor. And pencil graphite, if you keep, pencil lead if you keep, then it will start glowing. So these are the things which you are supposed to write in a tabular form. For this experiment, distilled water tabular form is given in the page number 124. Distilled water, when you take in the rubber cap, bulb will not glow, it is a bad conductor. Drinking water is a good conductor, so bulb starts glowing. Coconut oil is a bad conductor, bulb will not glow. Lemon juice, it is good conductor because it is having the citric acid, so bulb starts glowing. Vinegar is having weak acid, bulb glows but it is little bit dim. Next, kerosene oil, if you take in the place of liquid, kerosene oil if you take, it is a bad conductor. Vegetable oil, cooking oil, it may be sun-drop oil or any oil if you take, that will not allow the current to pass. Sugar solution also bad conductor, so that light will not glow. Salt solution and sea water, both they will conduct the electric current, so that is what the bulb start glowing. So these you have to write in the tabular form. Have a nice day. Thank you.